Welcome to Tier 1 Jank. I am Marcus. I'm going to be bringing you some overdue gameplay today. Yesterday I did a deck tech for the Epic Sagas deck, which I'm going to be showing you some gameplay for today. If you haven't seen the deck tech, go ahead and check that out. But if you do, you'll notice that I was having a little bit of technical difficulties during the last half of it, and my face was freezing up in the camera there. The audio's okay, you can still understand what's going on in the deck and everything, but I did have to scratch the gameplay that I did afterwards because the video just wasn't coming out right. I have been messing with the settings on OBS here, and I think I've got it straightened out, so we're going to go ahead and try to do another constructed event for you, and hopefully that'll come out okay. So let's go ahead and do that for you today. Like I said, I'm playing the Epic Sagas deck that I had in that video. Get on the red screen here, and we'll go ahead and jump into a constructed event. We'll go with Epic Sagas, and jump into a game here. Now, if you haven't watched the deck tech, this deck is mostly based around the two sagas in the deck, the Flame of the Keld and the Mirari Conjecture. We also have a lot of burn spells, some electrostatic fields to push a little bit more damage, along with fanatical firebrands. And our main protagonist in the story is Keldon Warcaller, who's going to put lore counters onto our sagas and kind of push us ahead of where we should be. Okay, this isn't the greatest hand, but we are leading up to Murray conjectures, and we have a blocker. I don't want to mulligan into a worse hand, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. And didn't notice that we were going. Okay, I guess our opponent's going first. I did not want to see Flame of the Keld this turn. We have the choice of either discarding our conjectures to play Flame of the Keld or hanging on to it until very late in the game, or just discarding it to this Burglar Rat, which I might just do right now. But if he has a lot of discard, maybe we want to get rid of one of the conjectures. I think I'm gonna get rid of one of the conjectures just in case we end up having to discard a lot more and might end up just wanting to play Flame the Keld instead of conjecture if we're running out of cards. Because our opponent's forcing us to discard. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and get out this electrostatic field and pass it back. Opponent is Deadly Ghost. Okay, another Burglar Rat here. So we'll discard our Detection Tower. I think we may be just forced to play Flame the Keld early here. This is not what I wanted to do, but if our opponent is going to keep making us discard cards, we're not even going to get to the Mirari Conjecture. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the odds and play the Flame of the Keld now. Like I said, it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to build up to 5 mana, get some spells in our graveyard, and then play the Mirari Conjecture, but it didn't work out that way this time. So we'll see where this goes. See if our opponent decides to swing in with these rats. I'm most likely just block one and kill the other. Okay, he's not going to. Which is fine with me. I'll hold on to my Fanatical Firebrand for the third war counter on the Flame that Keld here. Okay, now we draw our War Callers, which, I mean, I would much rather like to have the War Callers out with later in the game with Mirari Conjecture getting spells back, but we'll deal with what we have here. Now, these will be doing X plus 2 damage. Everything is going to do an extra 2 damage next turn when this Flame of the Keld goes off, so they could be hitting for quite a bit next turn. The War Callers will each be swinging for 4 Fanatical Firebrands able to do. Okay, he's going to cast down one of my War Callers. And we might see something like a, oh god, what's the demon? Oh no, we got a Vampire Sovereign. Okay. Why does the name of that demon just fall right out of my mind here? Yeah, the 6/6 Flample 5 drop. But we do not get that, we get a Vampire Sovereign instead. Still no attacks from the rats. Or go to our turn. That is not what I wanted to see this turn. Let's see if he wants to block this War Caller with his Sovereign. Okay, he's going to block with a single rat. I'm actually going to hang on to that mountain in case we draw a Pirate's Pillage. That way I'll be able to discard it and draw 2 more cards. And then we have, okay, so it looks like I won't be doing that. I'm going to have to discard my mountain to this Arterial Flow. And then we're going to lose 2 life since he controls a vampire. He'll probably be swinging in with the Vampire Sovereign here. We have no blocks with that. And another Firebrand is not going to help us too much at the moment. But we'll just go ahead and swing out here. I don't think we'll be winning this one. This isn't a hugely competitive deck. It's not going to be winning a bunch of tournaments, but it is a lot of fun when it can go off. Well, that's the whole reason for the deck, is just to try to do some crazy things and have some fun. So it's not always going to hit. Sometimes we will get blown out, but when it does go off, it's really fun. So we'll see if we can get there one of these games. Right now we'll be taking another 3 Sovereign. And we have Isidore, the Awakener. We'll be bringing back creatures out of his graveyard. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and shock our opponent and then play Flaming Help. We're still not in a very good position here, but that's all we can do at the moment. We'll be taking another 3 from the Sovereign this turn. He'll probably swing in with Isarath to bring another guy out of his graveyard, which we'll have to block with the field. And that's what he does. Well, you know what? I just realized I have the sound up on here, so I hope that wasn't sounding too bad for you guys. Let me turn that down. That's probably better now. Alright, he's bringing back Burglar Rat, forcing us to discard a card that we don't have. But I believe those were the only creatures in his graveyard. I'll block Isarath. Next turn will be... Why? Oh, he has Death Touch, that's right. Okay. Well, we couldn't afford to take that 3 damage. Alright, and 2 Warcallers is not what we wanted to see this turn. I'm going to go ahead and play this island since I'm guessing he's going to be bringing back another rat out of the graveyard and making me discard it if I don't. We can double block is okay. We can't double block Isarath, so we're gonna be forced to block Isarath, taking 4 from the Sovereign and the Rat, putting us down to 1, and it's not gonna be looking good from there. We don't have any sweepers main board, so I think we're pretty much dead here. Bring back his Rat. And we're forced to block Isarath. Otherwise, we would have just been taking lethal there, and then yeah. We drew a land that's not going to help us. So our opponent says, good game. Good game, opponent. Then all he has to do is swing in, and we'll be losing this one. Those Burglar Rats in the beginning really hurt. If we were able to hang on to our Maracas Conjunctions, we would have been in a better position, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. This is the first recording that I've been doing since I've been messing with the settings. I didn't want to put up a stream right away because the last couple ones we've had we were having issues with, so I wanted to test this out first rather than putting up a stream for you guys and having you join in and it not be working correctly again. So I'm sorry if you did join in for one of those streams. We were having issues before, but hopefully next time we put up a stream, you guys will be able to come on and chat with me and all that good stuff. We'll go ahead and jump into the game here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. And this is not what we want to see. That's not much better, but at least we can opt turn 1, so I guess we'll keep that. We will put raw on the bottom. And we're going to try to draw into a mountain with opt. Draw one here, there's one, there's a shock. We're going to try to draw a mountain with opt. Sulfur Falls will work. And it looks like we've been facing green-white here. Maybe do some kind of token deck. Druid of the Cowl. I think we'll go ahead and get our electrostatic field down here. Don't think he's planning on really doing much damage with the Druid anyway, just wanting to use it for mana. Okay, there's another Druid. Opponent's ramping into something big here, possibly. Okay, we did get our Flame the Keld. Go ahead and play our Firebrand, play our Memorial to Genius, and pass the turn. No, we do not want to attack. Cancel attacks. There we go. And end turn. Okay, another Mana Dork. So I'm wondering what giant thing our opponent's going to play here. Okay, we have a Thrashing Brontodon. That's going to be able to take out our Flame of the Keld, but he will have to sacrifice a body to do it. I'm not going to play it until it's worth it. We could take out a 3-2. Okay, we got a Lava Coil, so that's not bad. I think we just go ahead and Lava Coil the Brontodon. I think that makes sense here. And then we'll pass the turn. Opponent's got to have something bigger than a Brontodon coming with all this mana. Run the Lonely King. Now, whenever he attacks alone, he's going to be his power is double. His power and toughness is doubled, but he won't be getting a chance to do that because we're going to hit him with Fight with Fire next turn. So let's go ahead and do that. Target Grun. She'll trigger our electrostatic field and damage to our opponent. We're not in like a great place board state wise, but we are in a better position than we were last game. We've been able to answer threats and keep the board clear except for Mana Dorks over here. Now there is a larger creature that's going to be harder to deal with. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to handle that one. Don't think he's going to want to attack with his elves. He does not. Okay, so I think the only way we have to even kill this mammoth right now is to get down Flame of the Keld and then hit him with a large spell. Unfortunately, if we do play Flame of the Keld, we're going to be discarding these shocks, and we only have 1 red mana right now, so we are not in a great position. I mean, possibly should have used a shock to get rid of the elf last turn, but or a couple turns ago. We really need to use that Fight with Fire on Grun, though. I think this turn we just play the Warcaller and pass. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot about this 8/8 trample on the other side. And now he's bringing back Grun from his graveyard. Okay, I think we're gonna take the 8 here. It's not ideal, but we aren't able to kill it at the moment. We drew another Flame the Keld, which is not what we needed. But I think the only way we can live longer is to draw into some kind of answer. So we're gonna go ahead and play it. This is not what I want to be doing, but we have to do something. So we're gonna attack with a Warcaller just to push another counter onto this and draw some cards. Okay, we did not draw answers. We did draw another red source though, so we'll get to play that. And things are not looking good for us. I'd really like to show you a game where this deck does go off, because like I said, it is a lot of fun, but unfortunately, sometimes you run into these situations where you don't really have much of a chance. The deck's kind of hit or miss. I do think it could still use some tuning, just maybe some ways to get it to be a little bit more consistent, but I'm just not quite sure what they are yet. Okay, so we're going to be taking another 8 here. I think we're pretty dead next turn. And we could block with the field, that would leave us at 8, but I don't think that's even going to push the clock back any. Okay, that's the one thing we could have drawn that would have killed this aggressive mammoth. So that's something. We're going to go ahead and do that. Oh, you know what? I was thinking it's going to be doubled. That was a punt on my part. Okay, so now he's at 2. You know what? We're just dead here. I mixed up my sagas there. I was thinking it was getting double cast, but it was only doing X+2, so it did 6 to the mammoth. Let's go ahead and try another game. Come on, just let it work one time. This deck can be fun at like FNM or something like that. Like it's not the most competitive, like I said. I would take it to like a major tournament, but you can do some fun things with it. I am going to be playing a cash tournament tonight, but I will not be using this deck. I'll be using Jeskai Control, which is a much more competitive deck. So wish me luck on that. But see if we can get a win in here. We might be facing Mono Blue Tempo. Opt. Um, I think we want that. Okay, we'll get our war caller down. The reason I took the shock is I'm expecting maybe a um, curiosity enchantment on the Herald here, and if he doesn't have some, okay, actually he's playing blue green, so we're probably facing Merfolk here. Okay, I'm up to a 3/3. So now would have been nice if we drew a land. We did not. I think we'll just play the Firebrand for now and swing it for 3. And then we'll see what other Merfolk we get from our opponent here. Water Trap Weaver. So he's going to tap down probably our War Caller. It's not going to untap next turn. We'll be taking 3 from the Herald. Okay, we did draw another land, which we wanted. So now we can Lava Coil the Herald, shock the Water Trap Weaver, and swing in for 2. I think that's what we want to do. We'll go ahead and do that. Or swing in for 1 with the Firebrand. Okay. So we did clear the board. And we have 3 mana up for Fight with Fire if our opponent plays another problem creature. He does not. Okay, this isn't the most ideal time to play this, but I'm actually going to play a Flame Held. We're going to discard our 3 cards here, attack with the War Caller, and draw 2 more. Unless our opponent does something to the War Caller before combat. I'm not sure what that would be. He doesn't have the 2 blue up for Merfolk Trickster or anything like that. Okay, he's going to put our Flame Held back in our hand, saving himself a turn from that. I think that's okay though. Okay, we don't have the mana to cast this Pirate's Pillage, so I'm just going to recast Flame the Keld. We'll discard our Pirate's Pillage. And swing. We'll see if we can get a war counter on this time. No, okay. Our opponent has a lot of disperses. So we'll just be swinging 3 again here, but he did, spend a turn to do that, so I don't really feel too bad about that. Let's see if he has anything more this turn. Okay, Silvergill Adept, he's revealing Tempest Caller. That's the one that's going to tap all our creatures when it comes down. He's revealing it to lower the mana cost on Silvergill Adept, and when it enters the battlefield, he's going to draw a card. Okay, so now, what's the power toughness on this thing? Okay, so now I think we actually use our Firebrand to kill the Silvergill Adept. I actually want to hang on to that Lightning Strike, so I'm not going to recast Flame of the Kill this turn. I'm just going to swing in for the 8, or for the putting him down to 8. And then if he plays this Tempest Caller or another, well, he's playing a Mistbinder, we're going to go ahead and Lightning Strike that. So he couldn't play the Tempest Caller because he doesn't have the second blue source. We'll go ahead and get rid of this Lord. Alright, now we have Electrostatic Field. Is it worth playing that and holding off another turn on Flame the Keld? I actually don't think so. I think I want to go ahead and play Flame the Keld. He doesn't have the blue mana to disperse it again. We're going to swing in with the Warcaller, draw 2 more cards. It doesn't look like he has a way to stop it this time. Okay, that's not bad. And we'll go to damage. And now next turn, when Flame of the Keld goes to lower counter 3, our Shock's going to be doing 4 damage, and our Warcaller is going to be swinging for 4. See if he has another Merfolk to buff this guy up. Or the what he puts out. Whenever another Merfolk enters, this guy's going to put a +1/+1 counter on target Merfolk that he controls. Okay, he does not. He's going to disperse my Warcaller. So I'm not able to attack with that next turn. Well, what we're going to do here is play the Warcaller. We'll play our Steam Vents tapped since we don't need the mana. And I'm going to go ahead and shock my opponent rather than this Deep Root Elite because I want to put him down to 2. That way if we draw another shock or something like that, we just win. And our opponent concedes. So there we go. We won one. And that still wasn't the best showing of the deck. It didn't really do too much crazy stuff there. I really like the turns where you can play Mirari Conjecture, get that up to War Counter 3, play a Pirate's Pillage, practically for free. You're just discarding a card. It's going to be doubled. You're drawing 4 cards, making 4 treasures, drawing into more burn spells like Shock and Lightning Strike, which you can double cast. Those are the turns that are really fun. That's what I would like to see. We may not see that today, but that's what the deck can do. We'll jump into another game here. We do have one more loss that we can receive before we are out of the constructed event. I like to do the constructed event for these videos because it seems to be about the right amount of time for the video. You get to look at the deck, see how it does over a few games. This seems fine. And we're going first, so we'll play Mountain, hold up Shack, and pass it back. Okay, we got a red-green from our opponent. This turn we'll play our Sulphur Falls and get our Warcaller down. We could have played the Electrostatic Field, but this way if our opponent doesn't play anything, we can swing in for 2 at least. Mountain from our opponent. And okay, he's going to Lightning Strike our Golden Warcaller. We'll down on the mountain here. Now we're going to play our Electrostatic Field. And we'll just pass. If our opponent does nothing, we'll opt at the end of his turn. We might want to shock something, so that's why I'm holding that back. We have like Draconic Disciple or something. Okay, now we have Druid of the Cowl. That lives through 2 damage, so we're not going to shock of that, but we will opt. We do not want a tapped land. We will take another opt. Um, I think I actually want to Lava Coil this Druid just to keep my opponent back on mana. That might not be the proper play. Might need that Lava Coil for something else, but that's what I'm doing. This way our opponent doesn't have 5 mana this turn to play whatever it is he has in his hand. He also doesn't have his second green source, which might be important. Okay, we got a Goblin Instigator here. Gonna make a token. And another Instigator, okay. Filling up the board with goblins. I could shock one of these, but I think I'm actually just gonna opt and try to see the cards here. Okay, we do want this mountain because that's gonna let us double shock and then play Flame of the Kelp next turn. Drew another mountain, so we're gonna end up getting rid of one, but I think that's okay. I think we're just gonna get rid of a couple of these goblins. And then we'll play our Flame of the Kelp. We are getting 1 damage off of each of those shocks to our opponent from our electrostatic field as well too, so it's not a total waste just burning the goblins. We could have done 3 with each to our opponent, but I don't want them to get going too wide here. Opponent got his second green source. Okay, plays Gutter Snipe. What is this deck? Goblins and elves? Okay, we will block 1 with our field. Now we're going to draw an extra 2 off the Flame of the Keld. That works. So let's see, we could Lightning Strike the Gutter Snipe. I am a little bit worried about that. We're going to get 2 damage every time he plays an instant or sorcery. I'm not really sure how many he has, though. He's just been playing creatures. And also our Lightning Strikes are going to do 5 each once the Flame of the Keld goes to the 3rd counter. And our Electrostatic Field will be doing 3. So I think we're just actually going to hold off and see how much damage we can do next turn right to our opponent's face. This is the instance where it might have been better to actually send those shocks to our opponent, because that might have put him within range to kill this turn. And we wouldn't have died from the goblins. But that's just a calculated decision, I guess. Okay, so I could block the Gutter Snipe here, but I don't want our electrostatic field to get shocked afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and block one of these tokens, because if he shocks our electrostatic field after I block this Gutter Snipe, it's just going to feel bad. We want to be able to trigger our electrostatic field for, okay, Lightning Strike instead. I thought he only had 1 mana up. Oh, okay, I guess he had 2. That's pretty good. Okay, so we can do 5, 10, 13. Try to draw another shock. I mean, we could take out some of these goblins, but I'm just going to prolong the game. We could get our opponent down quite a bit right now. Let's see how many more turns we can take. 4, 5, 6. So if we do nothing, those goblins were on a 2-turn clock. Yes, I know it's my go. I'm thinking. What's the best way to kill you? I think I think we're just going all out. We're going for it. If we hadn't blocked last turn with that field, then we would have been able to kill our opponent this turn. That was probably a mistake on my part. But we're just gonna go for it. See if we can draw a shot. Yeah, that's a big 5/5 vigilance guy. And I mean, we're dead next turn. If we don't, okay, we didn't draw it. We're dead. If I played that a little bit differently, we would have won that one. That shows sometimes, you just need to be throwing all the burn at your opponent's face, even if they have creatures on the board. That would have been a better option. I don't play fast-paced red decks enough to really feel comfortable doing that, I think. But that is the proper play. That is what I should have done. I should have been just throwing it at my opponent, and we would have easily been able to win there. So, my bad. But you did at least get to see the concept of the deck and the way it's supposed to work. I would, probably just go ahead and do another event for you, but I do have somewhere to be tonight, so unfortunately I don't have the time to do that right now. But I do hope that you enjoyed the video and the deck, and please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I did set up a Patreon account if you guys are feeling extra generous and want to help us out that way. The link is right on our banner, and I'll also put it in our description for the video below. Thank you, and I'll catch you later.